Going on, guys? So, little technical analysis lesson off the cuff using GU. So this is one of my clean charts. This is daily chart. We have been, let's have a look, bullish for about a year. So, looking at push to here, we are bullish, give or take. So we are upward trending, higher highs, higher lows. We have his little points of swings. So, depending how you want to mark things up. I took some liquidity, push. Looks like a change of character, but this is the last big swing, which made that. So yeah, noise. We're at a high. So we've broken a high. We could be looking at chopping about, maybe testing these lows similar to this. So taking that out at least. But remains to be seen. So it's not that deep at the minute. If we're intraday trading, we can look at what's happening on the daily. And obviously the higher time frame, the more higher time frame a zone is, the more significant and the stronger it is. So with trading, there's numerous ways to have a chop about and look at high reaction zones. So that'd be a not supply to demand, but like a support to resistance. So a high, which has then created a low. So a lot of people will be looking at this sort of area. Let's do vague areas first, like so, just like a vague area here. You can see that there's going to be some possible reactions there. This area has had a poke through. So if you look from here, it's had a couple of goes at it. A little fake out above. Hit it again. Come up. Yeah, so that's another area. Nothing really on that. Last high. Yeah, so the point I'm getting at here is there's support and resistance. There's different areas and different ways of chopping the market up horizontally and vertically. So if it's horizontal, what you've got to remember is more people are going to see the horizontal zone, while we have got different zones which are creating diagonals. It depends how people want to draw these zones. So it's something I spotted today on the lower time frame, which I want to show you. So if we get on a 4 hour, let's have a gander at that. So what do you see when you chop up this chart here? Last low, so there's some sort of significant zone. There's a wick there, which is effectively a order block. Yeah. So a wick is a sell to buy, and it's moved off aggressively from that. And then since then, it's not really stopped, and that's created the high what's taken out the last swing high. So this is somewhat of a interesting low. So you're likely to get a reaction. What's been happening the last couple of days or weeks, should we say, it's been trickling into this zone. So what are we seeing here? This is more corrective looking price action, which you could bust out from. So if you're looking at this, I quite like the you can use like the can use the wick to wicks there. So there's 4 points, give or take, on that rough trend line, that descending triangle or wedge, and then we've had a bust out, come back, try it. You look here, bust out, sell off, come back, try it to get the late longers in there, and it's moved off a little bit. you could argue that's still been the rough case there until it's done it again and then created that. So that's a diagonal trend line. So what else have we got here? We could look at the trend line like this sort of thing, and then as it moves off, you then move it and you move it as price action keeps moving. But roughly, without being too exact here, I just want to show you some diagonal stuff. There's been a rough trend line until it's broke, come up, usually breaks, comes down, retests roughly, and then goes. All it is, when you've got a diagonal trend line, which we've sort of got here, if we ignore this manipulative move, that is more or less the trend line if we ignore the manipulation out. So we've got some momentum to potentially bust through, and we're in a zone down here. We've tapped that, moved off a little bit, expecting some more action down here. So like today, obviously I was looking at longs, and I had a couple of goes at it because I were hoping this was going to break up and we're going to get a nice bust through. All it is, and the point I'm making is with the diagonal trend lines is it depends how people want to draw them. I'm a lot more vague. I'm a lot more open to like not exact, so I can use wick to wick or wicks to body. I'm not too fussed. It's more a general idea. So we've hit this zone, some reaction off it, come back retested, and then we've had a movement off. So today, what made me want to get in is got in around this low. I'll have to check the exact entry, but effectively low, high there, signaling a potential change in trend. So there, and then technically this is still then held. This. So as far as the indicators, let's get Asia session range on. Let's get the session ranges on. Two. I entered when Asia was filled around here first, and I got stopped out, but I was looking at this larger overall zone. Somewhere in here, I wanted an entry. So let's get it on there for 15 minutes. I like to enter as well, usually around 1:30 to 2:30 UK time. There's gonna be a decent move. That's when New York are online. London is still online, so there's usually a big move there. So if I'm looking at a move, if there's that other confluence, which would give me a reason to take the trade, there's usually some sort of zone around this time. So that'd be another reason why I want to take the trade on the USD pairs like GU, Euro USD. So looking at this, um, um, what I've noticed GU does like to do, it didn't quite do it here, is, I mean, gold and other pairs do it as well, but GU tends to be quite wicky and it'll move down and then fuck off. So something I noticed with GU is it'll do something, it'll look like it's going to move, and it'll do something, and it'll come down, bush, and it'll move off impulsively from somewhere like that. And then the volume start to come in about half two. So it's been fucking about sideways range and then moved. The reason I took the trades off GU is because when there's been, even on like the smaller time frame, when there's been some like breakout from a wedgie type thing, you've got that wedge there. Boom. Um, when you broke out, usually I'll take it off at the next high. I did think we could come quite a bit further up, There's liquidity over there in the trend line to be taken. There's all the highs. There's probably some Asia ranges a little bit higher up, which haven't been filled. So these things, there's some liquidity there. Taken, that's took it. So yeah, we're looking at potentially this high, but as it was slowing down and fucking about, and it's a bank holiday in the USA, I just took the trade off. I just weren't too asked. There weren't the movement there, and it's just chopped about. So I've left a little bit running on the Vantage and a little bit running on the well, no, I didn't actually. I took all that off. Go. Yeah, so just a little 800 quid day altogether. And that's from the supposed withdrawal, what I didn't get from Algo. I'm going to be binning them off if they don't pay me out again. I'm not too happy about it. Tomorrow there could be some fucking about, but then yeah, I mean, longs are still valid. It could come down and mitigate deeper into this zone, even take out this last low. If that's gone, there's some, yeah, there's a double bottom there, so that serves as an area of liquidity. Don't know if you guys know about Wyckoff, any of the schematics, but usually I like to see a double bottom, fucking about, take that, then go. That is usually when there's been a liquidity drive and it's moved off aggressively from it. On most time frames, it's been taken, it's been done. The move has produced what it's wanted to produce, so then we can move off. Um, yeah, it's ticked off. So if it's took some liquidity, what I mean by that is, if it's took a couple of lows out, so like here, it's took that out. It's coming into that time of day, and then we've moved off. But yeah, I was hoping it were going to come quite a bit further up, but sort of tick the box. I've already took a couple of little losses, getting in and muddling in, and then near enough a percent in profit. And there's a consistency rule on the algo forex funds, so you can't make too much of your profit from one trade. So effectively, I kept the lot size similar. Um, and yeah, that's pretty much where we are. So just the point I was looking at today. I mean, not the best fucking price action there, is it? It's not great. Just gonna think about this indicator a minute. But yeah, God is good. We had a good day on the charts. Let's change some of this. Range. Wales. Focus that. Yeah. Bob, 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 bob. No idea. What's happened? Anyway, I'll have a mess about that in a bit. Yeah, it's just these numbers and this boxy box is doing me in. Not a big fan. Take one off. A nice little indicator that. It's boxed. I don't know. It must just be the most recent ones. It's boxed. Anyhow, yeah. So that's what we've been looking at. So like on the lower time frame today, ignoring the wicks. Really, anything we're clutching there. Yeah. Tomorrow it could just chop about, fuck off, or it could come into here, see something like that, and then move away. Just taking this low out if there's liquidity down there, what the market wants to take. So yeah, just a quick reiterate on the lesson and the breakdown. So when you're looking at support resistance, order blocks, supply to demand flips, any of it, there's a number of ways of looking left at a chart and then thinking, right, price might react off this area. There's going to be more people reacting to horizontal levels than there is diagonal levels. Sometimes I cut through the wicks, sometimes I'll go wick to wick. It depends what I'm seeing. I'll have a little play about the diagonal. I'll look at the breakout, and when the thing's broken out, if there's another high here and it's broke out here, and I somehow get in, I'll usually take most of the profit there, unless it's just fucking off. So usually when it's broke out something, I want to make sure it's done it. So come back, retest, bong back off it, and then go. Like take out another bit of liquidity there on the horizontal. And that's an entry I like. So that's it. And that is cash in hand. God's good. And have a good one.